Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Misko.
And welcome to Overwatch Central, and welcome to Hanamura. We were just taking a break, having some noodles in Rikimaru.
Yeah, okay, right. It's time for another map guide. And yeah, we actually swapped around this time. So I'm going to be on offense, Ryan's going to be on defense. And starting off, we're just going to be taking a look at the health pack. So here's a little quick look at the health packs on the map. But the main thing about the health packs is that we'll be kind of trying to mention them here and there, like why they're important, which ones are more important than others, and which ones you should be looking out to control and not to control, because controlling areas around health packs is really good. If you think about it, if you're fighting against someone and then one of you grabs a health pack, that's, you know, their damage, or the damage you did to them is already reset. So yeah, health packs are important. We're going to be going through them. Thanks for the feedback from the last video. So yeah, do you want to just start off then and go over defending this first bit of Hanamura?
So yeah, with defending Hanamura, it's a pretty strong line to defend. I think people think it's easier to defend than attack, but generally, just to go over things really quickly, this area, just leave it. Just don't overextend, because if they kill you, it's a longer run back for you than it is for them. So you want to hold this line. Reinhardt is such an important pick, as per usual. He's always good to have. Just add enough presence on here. Roadhog is intimidating as well. It makes heroes like Genji not want to come through this way. So you want a lot of muscle here, but you also want backline heroes like a Widowmaker, maybe set up here, a Bastion or Torbjorn, just to sort of keep eyes out for stuff. They may want to sneak over this doorway, and Miska's going to show you just how easy it is for like a Genji to just sort of climb over there, and if I'm not paying attention, he can get around there quickly. And there are two big health packs down there. Miska showed you the health packs before. There's one in this room, there's one down here. So surprisingly, like, it's quite easy for D.Va, Pharah, Genji, even a Tracer to sort of get around and take control of this back area. And if you're sort of sat back on the point like a Symmetra or Mercy, they have this high ground here. They also have a lot of blind spots that you can't see, so it can be quite easy to be overwhelmed without even seeing anybody come through this way. So do bear that in mind, that this right side is very important for defenders and attackers. You know, it's what Mystic was saying before about the health packs. It's not so much the health packs themselves, it's the territory around the health pack. So you want to be making sure that you have control of this area. You want to be flushing out any enemies that try and get coy and jump in there. But a nice little tip for what you could do if a Genji tries to sneak through is, as a Symmetra, who is also a very important pick on this point in the map just because it's such a long run back, to put a couple of sentry turrets here. So when Genji tries to run through and tries to sneak around, he's bzz, 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 you know that he's there. And you know that somebody's coming, and people on your team can act accordingly, and McCree can go up there and try and take that bit of land and stuff like that. But yeah, another common thing, just to sort of finish off with real quickly, that I see is, say for example, Miska sneaks around and gets onto the point and starts capturing it, and we have no idea. And we're like, oh shit, we need to go back, we need to kill him. And we kill him, but we don't push back to where we were. So what tends to happen is all of these Reinhardts and soldiers, and even that offensive Widowmaker that Miska's going to mention later, is going to get comfortable over there and just going to keep running in, and they will overrun you. It's not a case of if, it's a case of when, and they will take that point. They will have the advantage there, just being able to run in and to take people back that are on the back foot. So if you have to back off to this point to clear out anybody that's on it, make sure to push back up to here as well. Don't sort of leave it. And if there's an offensive Widowmaker, don't let it get comfortable. There's so much to go over with Hanamura, but as a general guide, that's a good point of defending point B. So do let us know how you get on with that.
Right, so as to attacking, Ryan mentioned the offensive Widowmaker, and I feel like it's a very good pick and it's something very good to have. Because the thing is that if you pick an offensive Widowmaker and you just put it right up here in this room where I am right now, it kind of forces the enemy to do the same that a defensive Widowmaker would do. So a defensive Widowmaker here forces the enemy to be very careful around the choke. It basically means that you can't just stand out here in the open because you're gonna get sniped. If you got a defensive Widowmaker up here, which is a very good spot because you can just fall back into here, there's a couple health packs down there and back there, means that if you don't get sniped by the defending Widowmaker, you're just going to be able to, you know, keep trying to get pickoffs and be really annoying. Since it's a high ground as well, you're going to have quite a good chunk of vision, you know, you can see through all the way here, and it just shuts them down a little bit. And even if you do get picked off, there is also you just have a pretty short run back from spawn. So it's fairly straightforward to just get the offensive Widowmaker pick, get a pick off or two, and then you can probably push off of that. Now, a lot of people get stuck in this choke for various reasons. One of them is the typical choke reason, which just means that there's too much damage, you die too quickly to be able to react and so on. And this is obviously an issue. If there's a bastion sitting back there, or even further back, for example, it means that you're gonna have to try get something to get through the choke. Getting through on the right will mean that you're limiting yourself straight away, because sure, you have 175 health pack in here. That's not a lot if your team is taking a lot of damage, because it's only 1 health pack. And you're also indoors, and this means that they can just kind of, you know, they have you all in this same house, which is relatively easy to control. If you do go around the right or left, sorry, if you do go around the left flank though, you do have 2 big health packs that Ryan mentioned, which is very, very good for you because you've taken a lot of damage, you just grab a 250 health heal up, and that's quite a lot of health you get back. And then you can get right onto the point, group up behind here, or just kind of smuggle people in, which is a very good tactic that I use a lot. You just kind of get a lot of people in, they just kind of hide behind here, and then when you actually want to push, you just coordinate with them and rush in. That might be a bit difficult to do in pubs, but it's something that we use a lot when it comes to like us being in a 6-man or like, you know, a pre-made basically. May and McCree in the choke might also be an issue for you, similar to like a Bastion or something back there. So you got to be aware of what's ahead. Widowmaker ultimate, Hanzo, Sonic Arrow, that sort of thing. Just onto here, like a Sonic Arrow just shows who's behind there, and then you know straight away. So if a May is looking that way, for example, and you know they don't have a Symmetra, you can get over here and they won't really notice it. If they have a Torbjorn turret, you want to scout that one out too. But it should be relatively easy to scout out Torbjorn turret since they don't kill you instantly. And if you just get someone up here, it will probably aim at you, and then you know where it is and can snipe it out. So yeah, Farah can also control the rooftops very easily. You have this whole ledge up here, that whole ledge over there, but also this rooftop that a lot of people don't actually use a lot. And Farah can get all the way back here, and she can't really be shot by anyone if they're not on this side, of course. And she has a lot of vision, she can shoot onto the point, she can shoot into those doors, she can take down any Symmetra sentries that can't get her from here. There's a lot she can do from up here, and it's very, very helpful. So that's a great way of just establishing presence indoors and then pushing in a sort of coordinated fashion. And if you're in a pub game, I would say if you're not on the flanker, you're not going to have as much control of the game as other people. If you're on a tank, make sure people are getting through alive. And if you're on a flanker, use this left flank and just hide until you see that someone's using ultimates or pushing in, and try to capitalize off of that.
So whilst we're making our way over, we'll just show you the sort of layout of where the health packs are and the bits of territory, what we mean by the left flank and right flank, for example. But yeah, this is the beautiful room, point B. Fantastic little thing, home to the dragon shot as well. I didn't notice these pillars, actually. Maybe because of the light. That's interesting. But anyway, we'll crack on with this. Again, you really want to have good presence on this point. It's so open, and there's not really as much to hide behind than Anubis or Vault Sky, which is a lot more narrow with sort of big blocks of rooms and stuff covered you. With this, you are completely out in the open with 3 balconies that are looking over you. So you need a good amount of presence. I think Lucio and Mercy are the strongest supports in this. It's so difficult to solo heal on this as well. Having the Mercy rise when people die is so strong. She can also jump around and help people, like a Widowmaker that might be up there, a Genji or Winston that might be jumping up there to shut somebody down, but a Lucio as well to just be on the point and heal people that are taking a lot of damage, because you will take a lot of damage. So as we said, you want a good mix of heroes, like most games really. Reinhardt, Lucio, Soldier, on the point McCree, maybe, all of these sort of frontline heroes. And then heroes like Winston and Genji that could jump on Widowmakers, like where Miska is, that might be trying to pop shots. They could just sort of close down the distance and put enough pressure on them. Not necessarily kill them, but just give them enough of a problem that it's going to be an issue for them to actually get some kills. This is a major thing that we both really suck at when it comes to playing on capture point maps, is for defending you don't want to let the attacking team get comfortable with grouping up. Say for example, people are grouping up on this flank to push in with a Lucio ult or whatever, generally as a Genji or a Farah or whatever, and you see that you've got sight maybe from Widowmaker or Hanzo, you see that there's a group of them, jump in, they might be waiting for Lucio, jump in, try and get a couple of kills, pick off those Mercies and Lucios, because it means that they can't push in a strong fashion, I suppose, as a strong sort of group, if you're picking off those high value targets. So never let them get comfortable. If you can see a sort of group forming and a push about to happen, try and preemptively disrupt it as much as you can. As far as the defensive Widowmaker goes, up here is great. It means that you can't get surprise flanked by, say if you're up there, you can get flanked on that doorway. If you're up here, you're kind of out in the open as well. So do bear that in mind. Junkrat's great as well, and Torbjorn, again, for the turret to tell you where stuff is. But generally, don't backline too hard. You don't want enemies that are comfortable only up here, so when people get on the point, they actually don't jump down and fight people on it, protect themselves. Because they're just going to fail if they're coming in hard with Azaria, Reinhardt, so on and so forth. But generally, it's about making sure that you know where everybody is. I'm sure you'll sort of understand more when Mystica starts talking about attacking, but communicate, tell each other where the enemies are sort of grouping up, what flanks or Widowmaker or Genji's on, and try and shut them down before they can get onto this point, because once they're here, you have very little chance of surviving. You're going to get overrun very quickly.
Okay, so we're attacking point B on Hanamura. The left flank, just starting off with it, it's used quite a lot since you come right from the point. It's very natural to just walk down the stairs and go on to the left here, and you know, this is very open. If you have a Diva, a Genji, even the Lucy can wall ride on this wall right here. You can get over here quite easily, and people tend to do it. Now, what you do not want to do is just get all those heroes over here, maybe like 3 or even 4 on your team, and then start pushing in straight away if, you know, you feel like you haven't wiped the enemy team recently. Because that means that they're going to be ready, you're going to be 4v6, whilst the rest of your team are trying to get over there, and you're just going to be wasting time. And in the end, that is what sort of starts a whole, you know, chain of deaths and so on. And that's something you don't want, but you can get over there quite quickly. You want to be able to use that for the same sort of, I called it a smuggling tactic, I believe, back there. Like you kind of want to get heroes over there, have them sort of wait around there, or hide even, and then be ready when the rest of the team is pushing in from various other angles. Now the right side is actually a lot more open, and it's connected to this middle bit. And we also have a big health pack here, and a health pack over there, and here, and in the middle another big one, and a small one like over here. That's a lot of health packs, and it means that you're going to be able to keep pressure up, which means that you don't want to get picked off. Like, you don't want to just kind of trade kills over and over. What you want to do is just, you know, you will have a lot of time. When you capture that one first, you will, like point A, you will have like another 5 minutes, you know? So you want to take it easy and get a pick off without losing a hero. And you can stay alive by just dropping back and getting a health pack, even if you don't have, like, you know, 2 mercies or whatever crazy thing you want going on to get enough health. You can just drop back, get a health pack, and then move back in, keep pressure up. And that's very important to put the enemy off guard. You don't want them getting comfortable either. Now, next up is the flanker spot, and this right one, is a favorite of mine. This staircase will be very, very crowded, most of the time at least. If there's a McCree here, he's going to be able to dominate this doorway, and there's not much you can really do, like, yeah, to just kind of get him away from there, except just, you know, flat out killing him. So, when you're up here though, and if you have a Reaper, for example, that actually manages to live, you can get down this staircase, and the thing is that the enemy can't actually see you if they're standing on the point. If you just walk along the wall, they won't actually be able to see you. So you get down here, they don't know that you're here, and when you're back here, you can cause a lot of chaos. And this is key to just wiping out the sort of backline defense. A defensive Mercy can also easily hide in the spawn, since it's very close, you know? And it might even be harder to kill her for a first push than normally, but you really have to prioritize her, because, you know, the rest is kind of like, you know, most people will die on the point, so if you just goes out onto the point, rests people, that's a reset, and you're probably gonna lose that push if you're attacking. So get back here, get the Mercy. Reaper is very good at doing this, but mind a McCree or something that will be up here. Next up, I just want to mention all these other high grounds. They're very easily accessible, so please use them. So if you have someone even coming through this window, like, you know, maybe you got on a Widowmaker pick off and a Pharah actually manages to make it through, she's up here, and then she can just keep harassing the enemy team. And, you know, since they are the ones that are 5v6ing, that means that you're going to have the advantage, and the Pharah can just keep up the pressure from up here. So use the high grounds if you can. And yeah, Widowmaker pickoffs and Mercy pickoffs are great for this area because Mercy can fly around to all the different spots. Widowmaker has a very nice overview of the area. So get up to the high grounds and control them because you can. You can get around the enemy quite easily as well since they're going to be in the middle and you're going to be around on the sides and up and so on. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's very helpful. And last but not least, this health pack down here is really good for just keeping pressure up. A lot of people use it to actually get an offensive Symmetra. I don't recommend doing this in every game, but you can get it in offensive Symmetra. Set up your sentry nest down here and set up a teleporter here. All this means that people are going to be able to come out. If they're hurt, they can grab a health pack over there or a health pack over here. And just, you know, do the same thing basically as I talked about earlier up there. You can just keep dropping back to the health packs and keep the pressure up. And an offensive Symmetra isn't actually too bad down in this room because the enemy rarely want to overextend down into there. So yeah, that's the general idea of attacking on Hanamura Point B.
Yeah, there's so much to go over with these maps, especially Capture Point, but I mean, there is a reason why pro players don't like playing on Hanamura and Volsky and stuff like that, and it's just because it's a tricky thing to go over. But there's so many options. Obviously a lot depends on hero composition. Just make sure that you've got a really balanced team on either side, and you should have the advantage if the other team is, you know, maybe backlining too hard or don't have any supports or something like that. These are hard maps to defend and attack on depending on who you're up against. But hopefully this guide has taught you something. Do let us know if you have your own tips on playing Hanamura in the comments below. And do let us know if you like this format, if there's something else you'd like us to include. I think the addition of health packs is very important, so thanks to those that gave us that feedback. We've taken it in, and hopefully this guide is a lot better. Well, thank you very much for watching, take care, and we'll see you next time.